Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for being today with us. Welcome to a new session of the Process Professor. I'm really excited to be with you. Today we have a really interesting session where we will be learning and where we will be talking about an important topic and something that we have seen as relevant and that is getting a lot of attention on the markets. And it is something that it will be how we will be able to actually build, right, a digital transformation foundation using one important concept that now we're introducing into the market that is called Intelligent Enterprise Orchestration. My name is Kevin Guerrero. I am the Technical Marketing Manager for Bizagi globally, and I am also the Process Professor. So thank you so much, everyone, for being with us. If this is the first time that maybe you are joining our Process Professor session, please remember this is a space that we open. This is a program that we launched at the beginning of this year, and the idea is that you can have an open space where you can come and participate completely free, and where every month we're doing and we're executing the Process Professor every second Thursday of the month. And the idea, or one of the things that we want to have over here, is that every month we will be talking and we will be discussing about different topics that are for interest of the market and for you. This is going to be a space where you can come, where you can talk to us, where you can communicate, where you can ask, where you can make suggestions, give your feedback. So welcome everyone. Everyone is going to be welcome, every single one. And the way on how this is going to work is that in general, we're going to have just a space where we will be able to talk about the topic that corresponds or that belongs for that session. In this case, we will be talking about the Intelligent Enterprise Orchestration. And then I'm going to show you maybe in a couple minutes, one live demonstration about how that concept or that important topic that we were discussing on the presentation can be solved or can be implemented using our tools, right? And finally, we're going to have an open space for everyone to talk, to ask questions, to comment, to make suggestions. So that is the important part of the Process Professor program that we have. At the last time that it can be between 30 or 20 minutes that we're going to be in every single session, you're going to have an open space where you can ask and where you can talk about every single or any topic that you want. It doesn't have to be about, or it doesn't have to be regarding the topic that we're covering on that day. It can be whatever you want, right? So this is going to be the structure of our Process Professor. Remember, we're executing this every second Thursday of the month. So that means this is the third session that we got in this moment during the execution of this year. And please take into account that the next session is going to be the second Thursday of May, right? So just for you to keep into account. So let's try to take a look and review pretty quickly what we're going to review and what we're going to see today when we're talking about Intelligent Enterprise Orchestration. So as I was telling you, this is a concept that is getting a lot of attention right now on the markets. It is a new way on how actual companies can create a business transformation foundation. And we found that this is pretty interesting and that we want to share with you, with our community, our perspective about this, how we can tackle this new concept, and how actually in Bizagi we're helping our customers when they want to actually have an intelligent enterprise orchestrator. Today we will be covering three main points. First of all, we will be taking a look and discussing a little bit and understanding a little bit how in the last couple of years, in the last 10, 20 years, we got into the point over here. So we will analyze in detail how has been the market evolution so far and why we're now here in this moment talking about intelligent enterprise orchestration. We will then define what is this new concept, and we will see from the Bizagi point of view and from the Bizagi perspective, which are the elements, the concepts, the features, and the way on how we're helping our customers to actually be this intelligent enterprise orchestrator. So let's start, first of all, with one important quote, with one important sentence that we got, right, from a really important consultancy company in an article, right, that it was called Unlocking the True Digital Transformation. One of the perceptions, or one of the things that they analyze when they are reviewing how companies are structuring and how are they organizing the way on how they are executing digital transformation, is that at some point, some companies get into a point where they cannot scale more, or where they cannot adapt or react as fast as they need. And one of the important things that we found in that article was this, and I think this is pretty important for what we will be talking about. And it's look, organizations cannot hope to improve their digital transformation maturity beyond a state dominated by islands of innovation unless they invest in a platform that drives orchestration between systems on the outside edge of the organization and those on the inside. So this is pretty amazing, and it's pretty important for what we will be talking about. So we cannot deny, we cannot basically say that it is not happening, that we are in an era where everything is having digital transformation and every single company around the world are implementing digital transformation programs. But we need to take a look, and we need to be careful in the way on how we are going to apply and we're going to drive that digital transformation program. One of the things that happens, or one of the things that we have realized with our customers and with our experience, is that sometimes organizations start the digital transformation efforts by seeking, right, how to reinvent customer experiences. And that's fine, right? It's like, okay, we want at the end, maybe one of our main objectives is how we can provide better experiences for our external customers. However, we need to take into account and we need to be careful, because if we just focus on creating this digital outside, so how our customers will interact with us from the outside to our company, it can generate a problem, and is that we can start having little island of innovation. That means every single department or every single part that has an action on one of the processes or one of these customer experiences that we're improving will create an innovation, but it's going to be just an island. And what is going to be the problem? That if we want to actually have a really, really full improvement in the way on how our customers perceive, it is not focusing just on how they perceive us from the outside. We need to orchestrate, we need to organize, and we need to have a system that allows to say, okay, first we're going to go this, then we're going to go to this one. We need to have a director of the orchestra to say where we're going to go. So this is one thing that it is happening right now in the market, and that's why the new concept of intelligent enterprise orchestration has been appeared a couple years ago, right? But let's understand how we got here, why or how it was the evolution of companies trying to do digital transformations during the past year, and why now we're talking about that this is the new concept that we must pay attention. So let's see a little bit how it was or how it has been the market evolution in the last couple of years when we're talking about digital transformation programs. The first thing that we can say is that if we just go back many years ago, I don't know, maybe in the 80s or in the 90s, right, we were talking about that everything was absolutely manual. Every single process that was handled in a company was manual, and we did not have digital systems, right? However, maybe with the time at the beginning of the mid-90s, right, we basically start having some first attempt of automation, right? However, this automation was like really primitive, and the main objective of that point was actually to just create workflows. So at that point, we just understood that if we want to improve the way on how we're offering our services, we're working on our processes, and we're even providing new information to or new services to our customers, then what we're going to have, or what we're going to just get into this point, it is that we need to understand the way on how the process works. And over here, we have one idea, and it was we need to create workflows, right? And that was the first attempt on the market to actually have some evolution. On the next step, or the next cycle of evolution for the automation, was maybe around the 2000s, right? Where now we have this new concept called it BPM, right? Business Process Management. This is actually something that at this time was converted or was appeared as a methodology. So it was not like, okay, I want to improve my processes. No, let's try to put an order. Let's try to understand in detail how this works. Let's try to see all the information that you got over here. Here, the objective was not just to automate the processes, but also to try to understand how to improve it, right? So it's like, okay, before I was interested in how the process works, creating simple workflows. But now we need to go one step ahead, and we want to not only understand it, but try to start thinking how we are going to be able to improve it, how we are going to be able to take it into the next level to be a more efficient process, right? Here, something important that we got over here is that also, right, we found how the technology, right, was enablement or was supporting the methodology that we just got it over here. And here is where we got the BPMS. BPMS, right, that are our business process management suites or systems that provides the data, the analysis, the workflows, and are those tools that we were able to actually, right, support our strategy. So again, we want to improve our processes, and now we got tools that allow us to do this. The next step on this evolution, right, was a little bit between 2011, 2012, right, where actually Gartner thought at this point that BPMN needs an next step. We needed an evolution, that we have been working in the market for so long. We identified that maybe a couple things were working fine, but other ones still maybe need more improvement or things that has to be improved. And here it was where the concept of IBPMS was present. This one, right, it was about intelligent business process automation suites. So now we got this intelligent concept. And the idea, the expectation at this time, right, when we were talking again about 10 years ago, the expectation at that point is that these corresponding intelligent business process management suites were able to do everything, absolutely everything. So what's the meaning of that? That we will be able to actually get absolutely like a magic's in box. Whatever we want, we have to take it from our suites. And the point that, of course, we were getting into that moment or into that point was, we were expecting to have something that allowed me to have management and admin of resources, but also at the same time to actually have some orchestration and counter interaction and human resources, and everything was packed into just one single point. There was a really, really high expectation. And of course, even though it was an important step in the evolution, we realized with the time, right, that it was too much. And that definitely was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, probably this is not what we were expecting. And a couple years ago, 2019, right, Gartner say like, hey, you know what? Yeah, probably we were having a really, really high expectations on that point. And now we will need to organize again and refocus on how we're going to work. They present, right, last year, one concept that was the one called it hyper automation, where the idea on the hyper automation is that, yeah, we're going to continue having these intelligent business process management suites, but additional of this, I will understand, or I want to understand that that is not enough. That what I need is to actually put together multiple pieces and make them work together. And this is an important step for what we are going to use, or what we will define as intelligent enterprise orchestration. We cannot have just one single element or one component using and working alone. If we want a really transformation, what we need to do is to put together multiple elements, multiple resources, and make them work together in a coordinated one. All of these concepts, right, are more from a market evolution, taking into account one approach that was the one from Gartner, right? In terms of where we are, for example, from the point of view of Forrester, what we say is that Forrester give it a different name, but at the end, let's say is this BPM suites can be associated with this digital or DPA's digital process automation ones. So basically with Forrester, what we got is that they have split the DPA space, right, in basically two different categories. One that are the DPA white, and the other one that is a DPA deep. The meaning of this is basically in the white is where we can actually, right, found 80% of all the processes of any company. So these are going to be the small processes, the ones that support the operation of the company, right? And on the other hand, we're going to have the DPA deep, where what we're going to get is just a 20% of the core processes, the ones that are supporting the full operation of the company. In this space, in Bizagi, we are basically located into the DPA wave, and we're actually identified as a leader on this wave. However, Forrester has decided also that this is not going to continue in this way. They are not going to split anymore or separate anymore DPA-Y with DPA deep, and they are going to merge into just in one. And probably this year, at the end of this year, we will have a new space where we will see this evolution. So if you see on this whole market evolution, we start with a basic need that was, I need to improve my processes. I need to understand how the processes works. And we have on the time an evolution. So, okay, to understand it, let's just create workflows of that process. Then let's use suites or let's use softwares to allow me to improve them. Then, right, let's try to see and let's try to understand that what I need is using or automating the process alone, completely separated as an island of innovation, is not going to get the results that I want, because what I need is that, or what I need to understand is that I need multiple systems. And here is where we say, okay, a concept as the hyper automation can actually make sense. But we got now into the point where we're now, and it is, okay, we're talking about now something that we define and something that we call as intelligent enterprise orchestration. So what's that? When we're talking about an intelligent enterprise orchestration, what is the concept behind of that? What we say is, hey, you know what? We need to understand that if we really, really want to actually have a digital transformation inside of the companies, and we want to achieve the objectives of this point and have a really solid foundation, we need to bring everything that is involved together. And when we're talking about everything together is what? Processes, people, systems. And systems, it doesn't matter which type of systems they are. It doesn't matter if it is a system, a legacy system. It doesn't matter if it is a cloud system. It doesn't matter if it is a system that executes bots. Systems in general, the data, and finally, the artificial intelligence that we're getting here. So in order to make a really, really good foundation for a digital transformation, we need to bring all of this, and we need to grab all of this together into one simple point. So that's why here we say, hey, you know what? Intelligent enterprise orchestration is going to be, right, as the duct tape that you can use to basically put all of this together. These elements must be coordinated, must be included in one single space, and must be taped, right? So the concept that we got over here, right, or the idea that we're getting into this particular point is that with an intelligent enterprise orchestration, what you are going to have is the opportunity to shield your various user, stakeholders, customers, partners. Everyone that is involved in the execution of your process will be completely shielded, right, from the different silos that can appear, technology or business. So we're not worried anymore about that. Okay, this independent department is part of just this small part of the process, and I have to do a huge process to make them work. No, it doesn't matter. We're shielding them into just one system, that is the one that we got over here. Additional of this, what we say, like, now an intelligent enterprise orchestration approach will give you the opportunity to basically take out all the worries from users. So from a user perspective or from a company perspective, it is almost impossible to actually review all the existing systems that a company can have and how all of them are connected or integrated. So what we say to this point is, don't worry, this new layer is the one that will help you to do all of this. So from a customer's perspective, what we can expect is, it's going to be important or it's going to be relevant if I have to do an integration with an SAP that is on the cloud, or if it is on an on-premise approach. No, it doesn't matter at all. What we are going to say is that the layer, this new ledger that helped me to orchestrate everything, is the one that will have to worry about that, and not at this point of users. So how in Bizagi are we taking this new concept? Are we using this new approach that we're seeing in the market, and we're putting all of that back into our products? How we can say, or how we can use Bizagi as your intelligent enterprise orchestrator? How Bizagi is going to coordinate everything? So we understand for sure that business transformations inside of companies is not something that is going to happen overnight, right? Or that is going to happen in a big bang, that we're going to say, okay, from tomorrow, everything's going to change in the company. No, we understand that business transformation takes time, that the transformation can actually take some months, depending on the size of the company, can even take some years. But what we need also to understand is that this business transformation must be focused and must be orchestrated by an important system. So that's why in Bizagi, we have been working in our products to give you and to provide to our customers multiple features, multiple capabilities that allow our customers to actually perform this orchestration in a really, really easy way. So the idea that we are going to have it, or the way on how we're going to support this, is that Bizagi is the one that wants to be your orchestrator. So we want to be the one that actually support the new orchestration layer where partners, customers, employees, everyone that requires something from this transformation step is going to be connected or is going to be redirected to our Bizagi platform. From the Bizagi platform, we will be able to handle everything that you need. It doesn't matter the type of process that you are working. It doesn't matter the type of approach that you get. It doesn't matter if it is artificial intelligence. It doesn't matter if our bots. It doesn't matter if it's a case management, if our citizen developers processes, reporting. Everything will be provided and coordinated by this new orchestration layer that is where Bizagi is going to be located. And then in a really simple and smoothly way, the end users, the partners, the stakeholders, everyone that is involved is going to start getting the information that they need in a really simple way. When we introduce or when we have this new concept of intelligent enterprise orchestration, we're going to have multiple benefits, right? That can be provided and that are going to be value that we can provide to our customers. The first one is providing an end-to-end process effectiveness and visibility. So when we have systems that just focus in a simple task, right, or that we can automate just this single step of our processes, right, we are getting a problem, and is that we're not seeing the full picture. We are not able to see everything that is happening in this point. So when we introduce intelligent enterprise orchestration, what we are having is that now we are going to have a general picture. We're going to see the full picture, and we will be able to have and coordinate the interactions that any process can have between people, bots, external systems, legacy systems, artificial intelligence, whatever is needed can be completely coordinated. So now we will be in a point where we're not improving one single step of the process, but we're improving the full process. The second good or great benefit that we will be able to get from here is definitely reuse of legacy systems. So one of the things that happens when companies are doing these digital transformation strategies or programs is that at some points they have been invested a lot of money from a lot of years in multiple systems, and they don't want to just put them on the trash. So with intelligent enterprise orchestration, one of the great things that we will be able to do is that we can actually reuse them. How? We can find which is the best approach that we have. We can create a service layer, or we can create bots, or we can create whatever we need. But at the end, all that interaction and that information will be completely coordinated by our new layer. The next one is people and bots. Definitely, we need to understand that bots are great. And we have seen in the last couple of years that actually the market with bots are being executed and are being implemented in companies has grown dramatically, right? However, many of our customers, many of the success stories that we got in our customers has told us that the execution of a simple bot is not enough. When we focus our attention into just improve a process with a single bot, we are not able to see the full panorama, and probably we're not going to just go and have the opportunity to find other points that we can improve. When we are able and when we are really good to coordinate the execution, the work between people, bots, integration systems, web services, whatever is needed, that is where we're going to be able to have the huge change. One other benefit that we got over here, it is that, of course, we will be able to improve the operational error handling. One of the things that happens when we just improve one single task, for example, with bots, for example, with RPA technologies, is that we are helping a lot our user, right, our end user, because we're taking out a lot of repetitive tasks from the daily activities. But if we just have this element working alone and separate, if an error happens or if an error occurs at the end, a person must go and try to understand what has happened so far. If you got an orchestrator, right, that allows you to control the execution of these elements, and that if any of those elements fails, to do automatic assignments to humans or even to other systems, that is going to be much better and much smoother. And the last benefit that we got over here, of course, is the option, and the one that I mentioned to you, that is the opportunity to shield our systems. We are shielding our systems, and we are going to avoid silos from technology perspective and also for business perspective. In Bizagi, we offer, right, multiple elements to actually let you use Bizagi as your general and intelligent enterprise orchestrator in a really easy way. Why? We provide for you more than 130 connectors and widgets that are ready to use. All these elements will allow you to integrate with multiple systems in a pretty easy way, so you don't have to waste time creating integration from a start. We have also integrations, native integrations with multiple external systems that allow you to do, for example, reporting. So if you want, you can just have integration with Power BI or Tableau. And we have native integration in our product with the 3 more important and relevant RPA providers on the market: Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, and UiPath. So in this way, your whole integration will be completely shielded, and Bizagi can start orchestrating everything. Where to start, where to call this service, where to use the bot, where to send an error, where to, include information from a user. Everything will be completely coordinated for us. I want to show you one really quick example on how this is going to look like in a real world example. I'm not going to get into the details of how the configuration works, but I'm going to show you one simple process. It's pretty simple from a general point of view that can have multiple integrations and coordinations working together according to the needs that you can have. The process that we are going to have here, and the one that I want to show you, is a simple product request. This is a process from a financial company, from a financial organization. The objective here is that one customer can request a new product, for example, a personal loan, a vehicle loan, a credit card, any product or any financial product. And what we have to understand here is that in order to make this process to work successfully, we will definitely need to coordinate and orchestrate multiple calls, multiple integration systems, multiple places where we are going to go directly and start seeing what's happening. So if you see from a process diagram perspective, it's not a really big process diagram. However, if we just go into our Bizagi studio, that is the place where we perform our integrations, and we review the number of integrations that we're having right now for this simple process, we are going to be able to see real orchestration here. We are doing in this simple process invocation of multiple web services. If you have here, I have integrations with an enterprise service bus. I have another integration with an enterprise service bus that provide features of security. I am invoking web services. I am invoking and connecting through the use of an existing connector that is part of the connectors that I told you that we have for you, an integration and a connection with Salesforce. I have even an additional integration with a system called Wolfram Alpha. I am connecting and I am using an existing Excel document and a spreadsheet that allow me to calculate or to do calculations on a customer, and I am using that one as part of my process. And even if we just go from the bot's perspective, I am having the call or I am having integration with bots that are from Blue Prism. So everything is simple, everything is coordinated, everything is going one step by step to have everything that I want. And from an end using perspective, what we're going to get is that the end user is not going to realize, is not going to identify, and is not going to worry at all where those informations are getting or where actually we're having all this kind of weird integration. From the end user, the one that is taking care of this process, he just must worry about, right, what is happening in every single step and completing the information that it's needed in every single point. That means that at the moment that I am completing and adding all this basic information, when I just move my process from one step to the other one, what it is going to happen is that I am just going to be basically moving, right, or having or taking this process to one step to the other one. So my information is complete. I am going to click on next. And what is going to happen? Now, independently on the different steps that I got on my process, independently if I am in one point or in another one, independently what is required here, Bizagi, your orchestrator, is going to start making the connection. It's going to start saying to the process, hey, you know what? At this point, I need to have an integration with a web service. Or right here, I need to call a bot. Or right here, I want to send an email. Independently, or every single step that is going to be executed for you, the user is going to see the result and is going to just get whatever they want. So from the process perspective, I just want you to see what happened so far. I just was on my first step of my activity on this one. And when I move to the next point, take a look that 3 different integrations happen at the same time. A web service, a SOAP web service, an integration with Salesforce, an integration with a REST web service. All of that was happening behind of the scene, controlled and integrated with or managed by the orchestrator, by Bizagi, and the end user doesn't have to worry anything at all. Even if you see here, I have another integration with it is validating if my credit cards are correct or not. And even over here, take a look that I can include easily what is going to happen, right, from the point of view of an integration with, for example, an Excel. So if I have already a document right here that allowed me to do all this complex calculation, so from the user perspective, I don't care what is happening. I just know that if I want to get what is going to be the total amount of payments of a user, I need to complete this basic data. I want to simulate how much are going to be those payments, and as simple as that, I am going to get the result. What is happening behind the scenes? I don't care. From my end user perspective, I don't care. If at this moment Bizagi is invoking and using the orchestrator, that's fine for me. But from my perspective, it doesn't matter for me. When I start moving even my process from other steps, from other points, I'm going to be able even to see more integrations, more systems that are being part of this. If you see now, when I got over this step of the process, I am even having integration with services that allows me to just go directly and send emails. So everything is perfectly orchestrated. Everything is perfectly organized. And from the end user, or from the Bizagi perspective, is Bizagi the perfect orchestrator that you can use to actually have an intelligent enterprise orchestration.